Welcome to Voices of the Plaza, the podcast, hosted by Peggy MacArthur. This is where we amplify stories of empowerment, innovation, and success from the heart of the Global Business Plaza. Each week, Peggy introduces us to one of the creative business people, entrepreneurs, and industry experts who are shaping their fields and redefining success. Together, we'll explore unique journeys, highlight remarkable expertise, and uncover the inspiration behind their success.
All right. I am super excited to be here. Hey, everyone. I'm Raven, the talk show maven, and I am here today. I have the honor of interviewing the host of this amazing show. Do you see her right there? None other than Peggy MacArthur. Yay!
Oh wow, we have sound effects. Raven brings sound effects. That's awesome.
Always, always. I carry it wherever I go. If you're new to joining this show, this is a show you want to make sure you plug into every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific. Peggy is all that, a bag of chips and some M&Ms on the side. Yeah, not only is she the host of Voices of the Plaza, she's the founder of Global Business Plaza, a revolutionary virtual business ecosystem rather, that helps business owners turn visibility into opportunity and opportunity into revenue. Can we say cha-ching, 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 cha-ching? She's on a mission to create real connection that leads to real success. How cool is that? And she is here. Peggy, I'm so delighted to be here interviewing you, flipping the script, so to speak.
I know I'm sitting in the hot seat today.
You are in the hot seat. Do you feel the fire up in here? Up in here. Well, first, that applause is because you are all that bag of chips and some M&Ms on the side. You always busy. I mean, I mentioned a couple things, but I forgot to mention you also, put together GoBrunch. And not when I go brunch itself, but you put, I can't even think of the word. What am I trying to think of? 70. Here I go.
The rooms? Are you talking about?
No, not the rooms, but you're putting the event that's coming up.
Oh, the
Yeah,
World Building
the
Expo.
world. There you go. I was trying to
There's
think
gonna
of
be
what the
sound
name of
effects
that
with
was.
that when we say World Building Expo.
Yes. And this is was fourth, no, fifth one coming
Yep,
up.
the fifth one, the 1 year anniversary. It has been going on for a full year every quarter. We
Hmm.
do the World Building Expo, and it is the largest virtual expo. And last December we had 67 exhibitors and almost
What?
400 attendees, 387, I believe, attendees. So, yeah, it is quite a place. It is where people that have used GoBrunch, the GoBrunch platform for their business, whether in
Mhm.
part or all, they come together and show off what they're doing. It's an amazing networking opportunity. It's an amazing, just really, it's fun. It's fun. You've been involved in most of the expos, and I still get
I missed
people
a couple.
saying
Yeah.
that one lady that had the plane in their room. That one lady.
I know. I was gonna pick you up today in the plane, but it was raining. Wasn't a good day to fly, not even virtually. So but yeah, the expos are great, and what I love about you are what they call a go-getter. One recognizes one. Okay, you're kind of like, I want to do this, and then it's happening. That is a gift, but it can also be a curse sometimes, right? Because you're very innovative, like me, very creative. So how do you keep the balance?
I don't know as if I do keep the balance, Raven.
I believe that.
um, I feel like there's so many things to do, and a lot of times I'm working on things in my head. Like I really want to do this thing, and I'll work on it in my head for a long time, and then like the Global Business Plaza, I've been working on that in my head for That's really what I wanted when I made the expo.
Investment. Yeah, yeah.
I wanted it to be a place where businesses could be seen and start making money. And the expo wasn't necessarily that. It was more of a really fun networking event. And I was like working on that in my head. How do I, what do I do? What do I do? And so I woke up at 3 in the morning and I was like, I know how to do it. And 2 weeks later, I had bought all the software, learned all the software, and created and did a soft launch. So yeah, I think my husband would probably definitely say Peggy does not understand the balance part of it.
Oh my goodness, sound a lot like me. But yeah, that I mean, you kind of go with the flow, and it's in you. You got the spirit and the passion, and the it's burning in you. It's kind of like burning in your soul. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. Oh my God, I'm in the middle of this. How am I going to get this done? Because now you're working kind of on two things. Of course, you're building the Global Business Plaza, and at the same time, you're putting together the expo. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and it's this is expo like go time because the expo is March 10th and 11th, so
Hmm.
it's just a little less than a month away, and so it's go time for
It's
me.
go time.
It's
I
go
know.
time.
I
I've
told
got to
Jamie, I
go.
said, we're gonna do this one. So we hope to participate. But I want to get back to well, first of all, the date again is March 10th. Is that what you said?
March
For
10th and 11th. Yep, 2025.
yeah, and that's for the expo, Go Brunch Expo. And what's the name of the actual expo again? I always just say Go Brunch.
It's the World Building Expo.
How could I forget it? The
The
world
world
and
building
the
because
world.
I feel like, if you use the GoBrunch platform, you're out there building worlds, you're out
Yeah.
there building stuff. Yeah.
Definitely building worlds. I know we got over 100 room buildings, so we're definitely building worlds for sure. It's fun, love it. So you guys check out Go Brunch, but let's get back to the Global Business Plaza because I love what you've built there. I know I haven't really put mine in operation yet, but it will happen in March. And what I love about it is such a innovative space for entrepreneurs. What personal experiences would you say that led you to particularly want to build something to bring the different rooms in there? Okay, so and for those of you that haven't experienced it, the World Expo and this, you'll see they're two different things. They're one of the same, but two different things. What Peggy has done is said, hey, I'm putting this together if you guys want to come here and not just do the expo where it's been pretty much every quarter or something
Yep.
like that,
Yep.
right?
Every quarter.
That we can actually, have something kind of like a strip center, that a local strip center. That's what I think about. You got your favorite restaurant, and then you got all your little stores around that you can go visit to, and I think that's really really cool, and it makes us want to open it every day. That's just like if you had a physical strip a store in a strip mall, you would want to be there and be active and not just show up on the expo, because the expos are nice, but we're showing up every quarter, and then it's not enough. So give us a little bit more of the insight of bringing this together and what you're hoping people will walk away with, Peggy.
Well, as most of you who know who I am know that I'm a certified professional photographer. I've been doing that for over 36 years.
Mm.
And why that's important is even as a photographer, I was a big connector. I always am the person that, hey, I know a guy, ask Peggy, she knows the guy. And I in my studio, I used to have, this is, how old I was, how old I am, Raven. I had a pegboard and people would put their business cards. Now, for you young folks, that's those little cards that used to have people's name and phone number on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so when people would come into the studio, in a conversation, oh, this happened, I need a plumber. I'd be like, oh, I have a plumber for you, and even my studio, we kind of built community in that because everybody that they were my regular clients. I was also referring clients to them, and
Mhm.
I've just always by nature been that. When I started Time Benders, which is built on the GoBrunch platform. That's kind of what brought me to GoBrunch. What I do there is I teach creative business people how to run a profitable business. And in that is like, how do I help these businesses get more eyes on them? How do I help? Because marketing and networking, all those things, it's time consuming, and that's the hard part. Like, building the business, working on your craft, working on your offers, that's the easy part, because we love that, because that's what we're passionate
Mhm.
about. But actually
Mhm.
running the business is where we kind of get stumbled,
Yeah.
where it's hard. And so it's like, how can I help businesses that are doing amazing things? Like, I'm seeing these people and meeting these people that are using GoBrunch as, one of the platforms for their businesses. And they're like, these guys are geniuses. They're like profound, amazing things they're doing, like you. Like, the things you're doing are amazing. You're helping people get on radio. You're helping people get on podcasts. You're helping people get seen. You do all these amazing things, but how are people finding you? And
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
that's what the Global Business Plaza, where that comes in. It's a directory, so people can go to the directory and look up what, like, am I needing a business coach? Am I needing, somebody to help me with tech? Like, what is it that you're needing? You go in and you can find people by category, or you can just walk around the virtual, like you're walking around the mall, and just pop into places and say, oh, what's going on here? What's going on here?
I know
And
that's what's so cool about it. Yeah, and it's so interesting to see what people have built, and you're actually look at them without leaving, going to a different link. Clicking here and there. You're actually there, and you got to. How many do you have now? About
I think
30?
27 people are in the
Mhm.
Global Business Plaza right now, and they're there 24/7. They make their own hours, but they're there. You can go find them and get on
Mhm.
their calendar, do whatever. They're always there.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about it. So many entrepreneurs, they struggle, like you said, with the marketing and getting their business off the ground. We're great creatives, right? We can create all day, but like you say, getting out there and marketing it is the hard part. And it does take a big commitment, right? And even coming into your global plaza, it even though we would do our own hours, and I think about this when I finally open up my doors over there, you do have to be committed, right? It's something about being committed and consistent that will help build you faster rather than slower, right? People want to see you open. They want to know they can drop by and be there. Or one of the things you've done, and I've seen a lot of the others, you bring in tools and apps so that if you're not there, your business is still being seen and you're still directing people to where you want to go. Talk about how important that is.
I take advantage of everything I can to help other businesses be seen, and to there's a lot of things that you don't know if you don't know. You don't know that you can automate certain things that can make your life so much better and easier, and you can kind of show up in a way that you're like a big company, and you're still just starting out. Maybe you're a one person show, but I try to bring all of those things and give people access to that and knowledge how to use them and how to do them. But I think the main key of success is the community that we're building. We have networking every single week. If you're a part of the Global Business Plaza, we hop from business to business, so we get to see your room, we get to hear about your business, and then we give you insight from, because when it's your business, you're all up in it, you can't see it, and so we give you like our different perspective, like, well, this is confusing. Can you explain why you do that? Oh, maybe this would be more clear. Maybe you could make this adjustment. So we're in
That's
there
so
hands
awesome.
on, giving each other real time feedback, and also that gets us to know each other more, and we like each other more, and so it's more natural for me to say, hey, you're doing a podcast, you need to go see Raven. Hey, you're doing this, I've got this, you got to go see this person. And what we're seeing now, we soft launched in November, and we really launched in January. And what we're seeing already is that we're bringing each other paying clients. and
Oh, wow.
real money's being exchanged. It's not just, hey, come look at my cool stuff, but businesses are starting to see more clients in their business, and things are starting to pick up.
That's
And then
awesome.
we
Now, what day is that? You said every month or every week?
every week. That's only if you're
Oh,
part of the. That's only if you're a member of the thing. So
okay.
every Monday we have. It's called Around the Plaza Happy Hour, because
Yeah. Okay. That's
we also
awesome.
have the little happy hour fun and goof off, and it's just a time to really build that up. And then monthly we do big networking events where we can invite some people that aren't in the plaza yet. I say yet because, once you see how cool it
Because
is,
they're
you're
on
going
their
to want to
way.
hang out with us.
When
You're
they
going to
see
want
it.
to hang out with us.
Yeah. Okay. So, you've done photography, you're doing all these different things. I'm just curious, um, do you see are the biggest struggles people have, particularly at this day and time and stage of the era we are in? Is it just visibility? Is it not being able to close enough clients? Is it not feeling like they're being authentic? I mean, what is the big business issue and challenge that you find most people have?
I think most people don't realize how important it is to be aware of the value that they hold. I think a lot of creative people like you and I, what we do comes so easy for us, and we love it so much that we forget to pay people or charge people for it. We're like or we
I gotta
charge
pay
them.
somebody for this. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's so easy for us and it's something we love. We're like, oh, well, yeah, sure. Give us, I don't know, $50. And other people are out there doing something
Yeah.
really similar to you, but they're not passionate about it and they're not near as good at you, but they're just happen to be salespeople
Yeah.
business, marketing people. And they're out there making three, four, five times what you're charging. And so what happens is people see, oh, well, they're only charging $100, is probably not that big of a deal. I'm going to go over here to, Bozo the Clown, who's charging $500 for that, and I'm going to get nothing out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
And what we're
think
doing is
that's,
marketing ourselves as the low cost leader.
mhm,
And people are looking for people that, no, I don't want the low cost leader. They probably think I'm already the low cost leader.
I'm
I'm
already
trying to
the
get
low
up
cost
there.
leader.
And we're like, you don't have 50. What about 20? What about 10? No,
Yeah, and I
that's how
think
I
that,
was in when I first started my business. And I say, get whatever you can get. You want to see who's willing to give you the first dollar, meaning $1. You see a lot of times big marketers, they'll say, get this and only pay $1. You know why? Because they're trying to see, okay, who's willing to pull out their wallet.
their wallet, yep.
It's kind of like, okay, the freebie days are over. You should at least be able to pay $1 to get this, $1 to that. So sometimes it's kind of a smart marketing, and it's just part of a funnel.
Mhm.
But that does seem to be where I find my clients are stuck at that too. They want to give everything in the kitchen sink away, and you're
Yeah.
like the people are like, well, this is too good to be true, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it must not be that valuable, and it doesn't have to be expensive, but when you come with the attitude of valuing yourself and knowing the value that you offer, even if you're charging $1, even if you're charging $15 or whatever it is, it's that mindset shift that you realize that what you have is magic and that you are a genius in what you do and what you do is valuable. And so once that shift happens and you realize how valuable you are,
Mhm.
then that's when the revenue can start flowing in.
Mm, that's awesome. I know authenticity is important in business. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, 100%.
What are some practical ways people can know that they're being authentic and make that not just a practice that you do because you're not being authentic. You just, okay, I'm going to be more authentic today. Or is it something that you just train yourself to always be? And how hard is it?
So I was raised, my parents were entrepreneurs. So I was raised in a self-employed environment. And as a child, um, now I'm going to say this first. My dad is the most amazing businessman I've ever met. And many of the things that I do are because I've seen, how he ran his businesses. But this one thing that he instilled in me very young, and it's wrong. And maybe there was a time for it, but 2025 is not the time for it. And that is, he used to say, when you're always representing my business, you're Ron Stoffer's daughter. I was never allowed to get in trouble, to act up. Any opinion you had, that was for the dinner table, that was not for the public, because you didn't want to offend anyone, right?
Mm.
Because you didn't want anybody to, oh, they're this kind of the, and so I lived my life in business like that for many, 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 many years.
Wow.
And what I realized maybe about 15 years ago was, you know what, if somebody doesn't like who I am when I show up, it's okay,
It's okay. Yeah.
because they are not my ideal client. They're not my target clients. And what happens when we attract everybody is the people that we should not be working with pull us down. They drain our energy. They make us feel like crap. They make us think that we're not a genius that we are. And then we can't show up in our fullness for the people that really need us. So when people say, what is authentic to you? Being authentic to me is knowing that somebody may not like what I say, and it may piss them
Okay.
off, and they may walk away, and I'm okay with that.
And it's okay. Yeah. I think you're feeling free to be yourself,
Yeah.
whoever you are. And you're going to attract the right ones and the ones that don't like you, because everybody, you're not going to hit 100%, you know?
And you don't want to hit 100% because that's exhausting. And when you're exhausted, then you have 5 clients and 4 of them aren't your ideal clients, and you're exhausted, so you don't show up for that one. But let's say you just have one client and you show up 100% for that one client. That one client is probably going to be your biggest fan, and you have no idea who they know and who they're going to send to you.
That's true. You're
I
absolutely, you have no idea. What about trust? How important is that in business?
Now that's something my dad definitely did instill in me. Your word is everything. If you misquote somebody, that's on you. You quoted them too low. I guess you're eating beans for dinner tonight. I mean, there's just, and so that's one thing that I've always, people know I'm going to show up, I'm going to be on time, and I'm going to always be me. There's not going to be any surprises. I mean, there may be surprises, but they're expected surprises, like, okay, that figures, that's Peggy. but, but people need somebody to trust in, especially the day and age that we live in.
Mm.
Because I think what we've all found over the past several years is people that we thought were a certain way, they show up and they're all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, we didn't know this about you. Thank you for showing us finally who you are. And I think that a lot of us are craving um, something that we can trust in, because the next few years may be quite the roller coaster, and we need people that we can trust around us.
Oh yeah, really, quite the road. Buckle up, you're going for a ride, whether you
Going
want to
for a
or
ride,
not.
whether you want to or not.
Whether you want to or not, it's here.
Yep.
How has your dad? You told us about your dad, and he sounds remarkable. How has your overall experience, not just growing up, but I guess in your early stage of business and now, how has it affected you as a mentor, as a coach, and what's some of the biggest lessons you've learned beyond what you just shared with us about your dad?
Well, for one thing, I've always felt very fortunate. interned as a photographer. I interned with a one of the fanciest wedding photographers in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. And, he did not want to take on an intern. And I, kept pestering him. And finally he agreed. And he taught me a whole lot about business, a whole lot about not just photography, but the business side of photography, client experience, how to make sure that your clients feel welcome, and all of those things that maybe aren't taught in school but are so important to actually having a successful business. And also I've struggled a lot in my life financially. I've had to really, like, how do I do this? How can I do this on a shoestring budget? Like, how can I, do all of these things? And I've always been really fortunate to have people that would teach me things and would show me things. And I've always been very grateful for that. So I think that's definitely why when I see somebody that's like, hey, I just need a little help, I'm like, come on, I can help you.
Oh,
Come
it's so
hang
helpful.
out, because
Yeah.
I know it just takes one person to change your life. And I would love to be that one person, over and over and over for people.
Don't you love her? Don't you just love her? Yeah. Well, I'm doing your show, so you better tell me, when does this wrap up? I'm looking at
Oh,
the
well,
clock.
we wrap it up whenever we are done talking.
There
So,
you go. Okay, well, I got more to say, but
okay.
first we're going to take a quick commercial break. Um, all right, all of you that are listening or watching, we're about to dive even deeper into Peggy's insight. But first, let's talk about something that could be a total game changer for who? For you, and you. So, y'all ready? Okay. Let me ask you this. Are you tired? I mean, really tired of trying to grow your business alone? You know how it is, struggling to find the right connection. The right opportunities, or even just the right space to get noticed. Well, if you're nodding your head like this, then you need to check out Global Business Plaza. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This isn't just another networking site. It's powerful ecosystem designed to connect you with the right people, the right strategies, and the right opportunities to grow your business. Whether you're a coach, whether you're a creative, whether you're a podcaster, consultant, or product based entrepreneur, this is where you need to be. Yes. So you want to get connected with her, Peggy MacArthur, so you can start turning your visibility into revenue. Cha-ching, 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 ching, ching. Tell them where they need to go, Peggy. It's your time to shine.
All you need to do is go to globalbusinessplaza.com, and that's going to take you right into the plaza. And you can
Mm.
scroll all the way down to the bottom and see the directory, and you can join through the directory, or you can click on Quintosphere and schedule an appointment with yours truly. And I would love to take you on a tour of the Global Business Plaza and tell you more about how it can help you. It actually, if you go to globalbusinessplaza.com, on the top, I believe it's the top left corner, but it's in the top. There's a little button that says, "Is this the right place for you?" And if you click that, it's going to take you into a room with lots of videos and frequently asked questions, and a button for you to schedule with me. So I would love to talk to you about how we can get more eyes on your business and have fun doing it.
There you go. And have fun doing it. Yes, yes, yes. There you have
Because
it. Peggy MacArthur.
I don't know about you guys, but I've always been self-employed. I've never had a real job, as my mom would say.
hmm Yeah.
And sometimes that can be lonely. You're doing everything, and you're expected to do everything, and you feel like you're always dropping the ball somewhere. And it doesn't have to be like that. You can be a part of a community that helps each other. And encourages each other. And, somebody that's strong in marketing helps you with your marketing. Someone that's strong doing the profit and loss statement, they're going to show you how to do that. And we all work together and figure this business thing out and grow together.
There you go. A global teamwork makes the global dream work. Okay, I had a little spike in my coffee. No, I'm just kidding. I was just serious. No, kidding. Welcome back. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome back. Yes, yes, yes. This is the second part of our show, Voices of the Plaza. Yes. And who is the host? Not me. It's her, Peggy MacArthur. How long have you had the show, Peggy?
I believe we've been doing it since January. So I
Okay.
think this is our fifth or sixth episode. Yeah.
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 Oh, well, thank you for letting me interview you. What an honor.
And I
What
got
an
to
honor.
interview you, and I
Yes, you
think you
did.
were my first guest. Actually, I
I
think you were my
was.
first guest,
I'm a
and
ham like that. I
and
was.
I was we were swapped seats. So this is the first time for me to sit on this side. But Raven is. I mean, she's a professional at this, as you can clearly tell. And we're probably going to do some co-hosting in the future, so you can get some of Raven's spiciness.
Little spice in your life. Oh yeah. Sometimes colleagues say, tone it down. Tone it down. Am I married to talk show Maven or am I married to Raven? I'm like both.
Both. You got it
Both.
all.
There
You
you
got
go.
it all.
Peggy, before we went to break, we were talking about visibility and trust and how important it is for all of us to have that, in our business and authenticity. Your dad was right on, because my dad said the same thing when it came to trust. Your word is your bond. Be careful what you say, don't overpromise, and all the things like that. In building your community, did you find in when you were putting it together, putting your membership together, did you find sometimes you had to say, do I want to hold back and say all this, or do I want to just give it to them all? Because I found the reason I'm asking that, because I found that sometimes when we're a real giving person, like we are, we give so much, and then it gets overwhelming to everybody. And then also, you don't have anything to upsell them to. So, and I think that's important when you're thinking about, doing memberships, because you're helping me with mine and stuff. Sometimes it does take a person that you need to team up with so they can say, that's too much. Hold back, don't give that, or give a little bit more. So can we talk about that a little bit?
So, as you know, I am a give it to you all kind of a person.
She is.
So, what I decided to do, because I did realize that, this is growing really fast, is I have a founder's membership. And so you can come in as a founder and get everything for less than it would cost to go attend one membership, networking event somewhere. You know what I mean? So you get all of it, and that's going to run through the end of March, and then I am going to have to cut it up a little bit and offer the whole thing to just the people. Now, the ones that came in as a founder, they're always going to pay that same price, because they were with me. In fact, Raven was the very first person to sign up for the Global Business Plaza when I announced it. She was like, Peggy, stop talking and tell us where we can sign up. You're
How
talking
do
too
we
much.
do this thing? What button should we put?
You're like, you're talking too much, Peggy. We don't care. We don't care anymore. Show us the button. So yeah, so that was really fun. But yeah, so it is true. I am that person, and I do have to, I have to hire a business coach, Aisala, to to tell me like, hey, Peggy, do you like working 30 hours a day? Oh, you mean there's only 24 hours in a day? That's so weird. I feel I can get a whole 30 in. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it just takes a lot when you're putting something together anyway. It really does. As a creator, when you're coming from that creator space, and you're also a giving person, you have to really strategize it out. You know, I think team up and ask for help so you can have the right guidance, because making a mistake and putting too much out there, I've done it, and and you can't retract that. You know, you can't say, okay, I know I gave this to you guys for this, but starting tomorrow it's going to be this. You have to be really careful.
Well, and the other thing, the way I structured this, because I did think of that in the beginning, is like, I don't want to. I mean, I'm still run a photography business. I still run the time vendors. Like, I still have a lot of things going on. So it was like, but the way I structured it is like the workshops. We hold workshops at least once a month. In the membership it says once a month. So far we've had two a month ever since we've started. But we the way I have it structured is you as a Global Business Plaza can host that workshop for everyone. And we ask that the members of the Global Plaza get in at no cost, but we can invite other people in that you can charge. Like you can use this platform. I'll advertise it to all of my people, and everybody will advertise it and bring people in. But that gives each person, that gives you, Raven, the opportunity to get up and show your zone of genius, your expertise. It shows you as an expert, and it lets us get to know you more. And it helps your colleagues, your shopkeeps, the people in the plaza. But then it's also drawing people in that would normally not get that, to see you in that platform like that. And you're in a place where people are showing up because all the other shopkeeps are showing up. And so you've already got that core audience, and then other people come in. It helps you boost that confidence, and you know that you're in a room that people love you, and you can just really express that. So I feel like that was one of the smartest things that I did. I'm not teaching the workshop every month. That's not on me. That's allowing
Yeah,
that space for other people to come in and teach us. So
that keeps it interesting too. It keeps it
yeah,
interesting for the visitors, and it
right.
keeps it interesting for all of us that's part of the platform. And like you said, it lets us get to know each other and be able to send referrals or collaborate and partner up. Let's talk about the importance of community, and taking yours out of it, just community period. um, to those people that have masterminds or have podcasts, and live streams, or being on LinkedIn. How important is it to take them from those platforms into your own personal community? Talk on both sides of it, if you don't mind, Peggy, as the person that's hosting it and as the people that follow you.
So I feel like we have all realized, if we didn't know before, we all had a real reality wake up, that all these social media platforms that we depend on
Mhm.
are owned by greedy billionaires, and they can change the rules anytime they want. They can close us out. They can shut our platform down. They can do anything they want, and we really have no recourse because it's not our space. So that's why GoBrunch is right now even more important to me than ever, because I own that space, and I can set up my own guidelines in that space, and I can allow my community to come together how I want them to come together, and when I want them to come together. And so there's no billionaire dangling their own agenda over my head. And so I know that's not quite what you asked, but I felt like it was
No, that's
important.
a good answer. In fact, it led me to something else I want to ask, because this is important. As much as I love Go Brunch, um, I know the importance, and I recognize something that you said is very important, and that is that you are bringing them to your community, because these others are ran by millionaires. But even a community as good as Go Brunch, what you do that's important for us to talk about now is you have built a huge list from the expo that helped you even in what you're doing now. I
Mhm.
want you to talk about the importance of that to everyone because you have got to get them off of whatever community. I don't care if you love Go Brunch or whatever community, they got to be on your list because if anything happens, it may not be the same community. You can take them to one that they can go in there and click on the circles and all that stuff, but you can take them somewhere, right?
If you don't, yes, I was a big TikToker. I had,
You were?
yeah,
Okay.
I was big
You
on
used to drop
TikTok.
it like it's hot and
I didn't do the dances, but I did really, really enjoy TikTok. And when TikTok did its little, when they banned TikTok,
Mhm.
um, I thought, oh, they're not actually going to ban it. I'm going to stay, even though they'll just take it off the app store. They'll get this worked out. But what happened was that morning that they were going to ban it, we got a notification saying, would you like to pull your contacts over to Facebook and Instagram? And I was like, wait a minute, all these billionaires are up here talking. This is a game. We're pawns in their little game. And so I did delete TikTok off of my phone. So I cannot get onto TikTok anymore. And what I realized was there's a lot of people that I have no way to contact. Several of them I did find on YouTube and things like that. I'm also not on any Meta things for the same reason. But anyway, all of a sudden I was like, I've lost a lot of people that I felt were part of my people, my peeps, and I don't know how to find them.
Yeah.
And that's why it's really important that we have people's emails. I know that's super old fashioned because like, ooh, emails, I feel the same way, ooh, emails, but there's got to be a way I'm in charge of my email contact
That's right.
list.
Yeah,
And
because you're
you
building this
can offer
community. These are your peeps.
Right. You
And
can offer to leave it, but I can still find you until you say, "Hey, Peggy, I don't want you talking to me anymore." Until that happens, I can still find you,
yeah,
and that's something that I think we all need to keep in mind as craziness is going to continue to pursue over the next while. So
yeah,
is really knowing and. Lot of people on my mailing list because people that use GoBrunch already. I've quite a few people on LinkedIn, and do. I think we need to start using platforms like what they should be. And that is building actual relationships and getting to know people, taking the
yeah,
time to comment, taking the time to schedule a 15-minute one-on-one, taking the time to actually know what people are doing and build relationships because there is no community without relationships.
there
Community
you
without
go.
relationships is just a bunch of people in the same platform. That's not community. That's just, that's vanity numbers. That's
Yeah.
all it
And
is.
that's just smart marketing being able to do that. I dropped the ball big time when I was on both CNN and CBS. I did a great job promoting the station, great job promoting the guests, horrible job at promoting Raven. So when I left there, it was almost like, I took the few people that I interviewed the last quarter of me being there, but for over a couple of years of being there, I really dropped the ball.
Yeah.
So I know the importance of making sure you get them on something that's yours, and even when you get them on whatever who's ever mailing out your emails, make sure you download that list and have it on your hard drive. And even when you get it on your hard drive, just in case your hard drive crashed, make sure you move that list something, right? And that list is important, in other words.
It
Okay.
is. It really is.
No
It
way
really
around
is.
it. Let's talk about being stuck. Whew, that's a big one. Okay. Because we can be going really good. And then all of a sudden, whatever worked for months and years and decades comes to a halt. And sometimes you just don't know why. And you feel stuck. How does one go from being stuck to really just getting back and soaring?
So I used to tell people that I was very fortunate that I ran a very profitable hobby the first 15 years of my photography business. Because I did not know anything about business. And I did make some really good decisions, just instinctually, I think, because I was raised in a self-employed environment. So that there were some instinctual things that I did do correct, but I didn't really understand. And when the economy crashed and um, people got a camera in their cell phone, and DSLR cameras became cheap enough that people could afford them, kind of all at the same time. People started looking at photography in a different way, and I thought I was going to go have to get a job at McDonald's flipping burgers because I couldn't get a client to save my life, and I didn't know what to do. And thankfully, I had some friends that loved me very much. And her husband was very good at business, and had a really, really tough conversation with me. And basically kind of, said some really harsh things that I needed to hear about the way I was. I want to say running my business, but maybe was not running my business, you know, and it was really tough. And so I think when you're stuck, you really need to have community that'll tell you the truth, because a lot of times the reason you're stuck is because you don't want to make a change.
Mm.
And it could be a little change. But any change, we're human, so any change feels scary. But what if?
Yes.
I don't know how that's going to feel. I know how this terrible place feels, but I don't know how it's going to feel if I make this change and go do this other thing. And so I think it's really important that you are a part of a community that will be honest with you and say, you know what? You don't follow up. Like, you meet all these friends, you meet all these people, you go to these networking events, you get all these leads, but do you take the time to follow up and have a
Oh,
conversation with them and let them know what you're actually doing and what offers you have? You know, do you like all the party, but do you do the work after the party? And it's important to be a part of somebody
that's
that's
a
going to
big
hold
one.
you accountable to that, because
Yeah.
usually when you're stuck, it just takes a little tiny movement to get you unstuck. It's not like you have to rebuild anything or make any huge life change. It's usually a teeny tiny little change that you're just overlooking,
Yeah.
not seeing.
That's so true. That is so true. Um, I think before we go, I would like to talk a little bit more about your show here so that people can make sure they tune into it. What do you feel when people watch Voices of the Plaza, they walk away with?
I hope they walk away with inspiration, and I hope they walk away feeling like, wow, if she could do it, I could do it too. Talking about me, of course. I mean, most of the guests I have on here are geniuses, and we're all like, yeah. But I feel like, really inspired, because a lot of your story was super inspiring. A lot of the guests on the show, to me, their stories are really inspiring, and I think, oh, that's really interesting how they went from this to this, and all the little steps that it took to get there. And just know that I personally believe that you have every single thing that you need in you to succeed at the thing that you're passionate about.
Oh, I believe that too. It's so interesting you say that because I say that to my clients a lot. We
If
have
you
everything we need inside, and most of the time it's been sitting there for years, just waiting to pop.
Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah,
Wow.
so realize that you can do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. Because
Mm.
if you want it, it's meant for you.
Yeah, if you want it. What you want wants you. I heard that once. I forget by who. So tell your dad don't get mad at me if he's still. What you want wants you. I remember putting that on my computer. What you want wants you, and that's such a profound quote or statement, isn't it?
It is.
And who is it? Napoleon Hill, the late great Napoleon Hill, says that what the mind can conceive and believe, you'll achieve it. And I truly believe that. But throwing in another great person. Les Brown said you got to be hungry to get it. Okay. Yeah.
You
Yeah. So
got to
how
be willing to
hungry are
do.
you, Peggy? How hungry are you for the Voices of Plaza and what you're doing with the what do you call it? The World Expo. Okay. And for your business, your Global Business Plaza, how hungry are you for this to be a big winner?
Raymond, everybody knows how hungry I am for this because everybody is so tired of hearing me talk about it. But I'm going to make sure that you guys succeed, whether you like it or not.
Whether you want to or not. That is true. But you know what? You have such a passion about people succeeding, and we talked about giving and all that. How do you keep from enabling people? Because that's one of the things I do from time to time. And I know it. I know it. I know it. I'm like, okay, you're enabling these people because you do want to kind of pull them across the finish line. But that can be so exhausting.
And I'm glad you said that because I don't talk about this very much. And the story that you're about to hear, you'll be like, oh, I didn't know I was going to walk into this, Peggy. I grew up in a very toxic childhood, which led me to marry a very toxic person because that felt normal. Remember, we talk about change. We like what we feel, we're normal with. And when I finally was ready to take the kids and leave that relationship, that's when he decided, well, I'm going to go to counseling, and we're going to go to counseling. And I'm like, no, we aren't doing anything. I'm out, And so he went to counseling, and the counselor called me, wanted to have at least a phone conversation, and called me and said that the full reason that he was the way he was because I was an enabler. I didn't know anything about myself, and I was just basically just tore me down to, and told me that I was an enabler. And so my response was, great. If I'm his problem solved, because I'm out again. Like, we're gone. But that really bothered me. And I didn't believe that I was his the reason he was the way he was, but it still bothered me, right? And several years later, I owned that, and I was like, I'm not an enabler, I'm an empowerer, and I
Oh,
empower people to succeed. And
yeah.
I've learned boundaries, and I know that, I'm going to give you all the tools that it takes, and I'm going to encourage you, and I am going to jump up and down and do cartwheels for you, but you still have to do the thing.
Yeah, you
And I'm
can't want
okay.
it more than they want it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and I'm okay if you don't do the thing. Like, you can walk away and it's not going to crush me. But know that I am here to enable you, and empower you.
Yeah.
And so that's why I proudly say, if you look at any of my branding and my marketing and any of my things, it'll say empowering people, empowering people. I use that over and over because I've taken that thing that was meant to hurt me and destroy me, and I've turned it around and said, you know what, that is true. I have that characteristic. I like to empower people, but I won't
Yeah.
enable you.
I'm a power, not an enabler. So, how can those listening that feel like, okay, yeah, I get that. I'm an enabler at home, I'm an enabler in business. Give them 3 tips so they can stop it.
3 tips. Um,
Just
find
say
out.
no.
Yeah. No is a powerful word, and it's a hard word to say. Believe me, that was one of the hardest things. I used to have Post-its on my monitor that said, just say no. Because, a lot of people, maybe they have a problem saying yes and jumping out and doing things. That's not me. I say yes, like, as an instinct. So just say no. That's one thing for sure. But the other thing is, I think, dig deep inside and find out what your just statement is. In the time benders, we talk about your just statement. I just want. So what do you want for your business? What do you want for your life? And what do you want for yourself? And when
Oh, I
you
love
find
that.
that out, anything that doesn't line up for that is a no.
I'm writing that down. Okay. So the next time you feel a little inkling to enable, tell yourself, what? Okay. We got that one.
That's right. And and because if it doesn't line up with your just, like I just want to help people. And sometimes by me doing something for you doesn't help you, you know? And
Yeah.
so I have to realize, oh, let me teach you how to do that. Let me show you how you can do that. I'm not going to do it for you, but I will give you 10 minutes to show you how to do it. Let me show you how to do that.
I used to tell my some of my hosts, you take one step, I'll take two. But
Hmm.
come on now,
You got to take
we
that
can do
step.
this. But you got to show me something. Yeah, and sometimes we just have to have some of that self talk with ourselves. Okay, and because we know we get the inkling when we're going too far. I think what you said about boundaries is really important, and just turn it around. Like I'm not an enabler, I'm an empower. I love that you. Let's give her a hand on that one. That was good. That was gooder than good.
And give yourself permission to love yourself, and give yourself
Mm,
permission to be okay with, you're
right.
awesome, you're amazing, you are an incredible person. Even if you don't help anybody ever, you're still an amazing, incredible person. And
That
you have to
self
be,
talk is so important.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have to know that.
Yeah. You don't have to wait for someone to say it. You don't
You
have to
don't.
wait for someone to give you permission to succeed. You pat your own self on the back, toot the horn.
And
Every
yep.
now and then celebrate your small moments and your big moments and own up to those things that you know you're getting a little crazy with. Be real. Like Michael Jackson said, take a good look at the man and the woman and say, you gotta stop.
Yep.
Pay attention to the red flags
That
in
is so
business
funny.
and in life. Well, Peggy, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Before we go, focusing back on the Global Business Plaza, because that's your new baby right
That's
now.
the
Okay.
baby.
How can anyone listening to this really get involved, really make the move, and come on over to your innovative, I call it little virtual strip center out there, and bring their business there. Be part of a community. Be part of the dream team, the Global Business Plaza dream team, and collaborate. And like you said, speak. There's so much going on. So I'm going to zip it, which is hard to do. They don't call me talk show maybe for nothing, but give it back to you.
All you got to do is go to globalbusinessplaza.com and click on that. In the top left corner, there's a little thing that says, "Is this right for you?" Click on that, check it out, schedule an appointment with me, hunt me down on LinkedIn, leave me a direct message. We'll get together, whatever it takes. I am pretty easy to be found, Peggy MacArthur. And I'm at, like I said, LinkedIn, YouTube, and at the globalbusinessplaza.com. So come hang out, and I would love to see how I can help you get to be a part of this amazing, amazing community. And Raven, thank you. This is now our longest podcast of the season, but thank you so much. And I'll let you wrap it up, and I will run the music.
All right. Well, listen, thank you. This has been an honor. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget, every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific, you want to be right here with this lady. I'll pop in every now and then when she gives me the honor, but you definitely want to be part of. I've seen some of her guests, great guests. And she's bringing voices of the plaza. You can't miss it. Before we go, I want to give the listeners one more time how they can check out the Global Business Plaza community, that website one more time.
Globalbusinessplaza.com. And as soon as I run the credits, it's going to be right there for you.
Oh my goodness. So run, don't walk. You want to rush on over there right away. This has been Raven, the talk show maven. And I just want to close this off by just saying, if you've ever wanted to bring your business from the shadows to the spotlight, you want to start feeling like the best kept secret in town, then rush on over and join Peggy's amazing platform. You'll be so glad you did. Global Business Platform. And don't forget to tune into Voices of the Plaza. That's a wrap, y'all.